डेमोना में ईरान इजराइल के एटमी सेंटर, एयर डिफेंस और रडार को खत्म करना चाहता है। कोरियन नवीन रडार बेस पर तैनात 3 एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम पर भी हमला करने की तैयारी है। हाइफा में 3 एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम है। एकर में भी 3 एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम ईरान के टारगेट पर है। ईरान ने तेल अवीव में भी इजराइल के 3 एयर डिफेंस की लोकेशन पता कर ली। इन तीनों सिस्टम को तबाह कर सकता है। इराक में 2 एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम, साफिर में 1 आयरन डोम और पोलैंड में ईरान ने इजराइल के 11 डिफेंस सिस्टम की लोकेशन का पता लगा लिया है। ईरान दुनिया में तेल संकट लाने के लिए एक्शन शुरू कर चुका है। इजराइल के तेल ठिकानों को भी ईरान भस्म करने की कोशिश कर सकता है। हाइफा ऑयल रिफाइनरी की क्षमता 1,97,000 बैरल प्रतिदिन की है। इससे अभी इजराइल में गैस और पेट्रोल सप्लाई होता है। अशदोद ऑयल रिफाइनरी की कैपेसिटी 1 लाख बैरल प्रतिदिन है। इससे दक्षिणी और मध्य इजराइल में तेल गैस की सप्लाई होती है। इजराइल आकार में बेहद छोटा है, इसलिए ईरान के लिए टारगेट को चुनना और उन पर हमला करना बेहद आसान है। ईरान की कोशिश है कि इजराइल में ऐसे धमाके हो जिसकी गूंज से वॉशिंगटन तक हड़कंप मच जाए। रिपोर्ट TV9
और एक बड़ी खबर तेहरान से आ रही है। तेहरान के एक अस्पताल पर हमला किया गया। आईडीएफ ने तेहरान के एक अस्पताल पर हमला किया। अस्पताल में बच्चे और महिलाएं थे। उस अस्पताल की तस्वीरें हैं। आईडीएफ के हमले में अस्पताल को नुकसान पहुंचा है। हमले में अस्पताल, आप देखिए कैसे वहां पर टूट फूट हो गई है, कैसे नुकसान पहुंचा है अस्पताल को। इस अस्पताल में बच्चे और महिलाएं। तेहरान का एक अस्पताल है, उस पर इजराइल की सेना ने हमला किया। Jeste mi Mohamed और ईरान के 1000 ठिकानों पर हमला किया गया। यूएस इजराइल का ज्वाइंट ऑपरेशन है। 1000 ठिकाने टारगेट पर लॉक किए गए, फिर उनको अटैक किया गया। यूएस इजराइल ने यह रिपोर्ट जारी की। तो 28 फरवरी की सुबह ईरान पर शुरू हुए इजराइल अमेरिका के हमले आज भी जारी है। तेल अवीव से उड़े फाइटर जेट्स ने तेहरान, करमनशाह से लेकर ईरान के 24 प्रांतों में भीषण
But with Iran's supreme leader killed, the IRGC has now pledged revenge. They are putting up a strong fight. IRGC claims it has launched attacks on 27 bases hosting US troops, as well as military facilities in Tel Aviv. Explosions continue to be heard in Qatar, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Israel. But as West Asia burns, the question that lingers is that, is this the beginning of a wider war, and what does this mean for world at large?
We have two views from Delhi. We have General Bakshi. Asif Ramit Daud is a Middle East expert. He's joining us for the pro-Iran view. Tatiana Kukureva from Russia. Andrew K.P. Leung from London tonight. He's a China view. Major Differman, IDF officer from Tel Aviv. Ron Malka, former Israeli ambassador to India. SDA Alexander Shajan, Republican voice from. And Joachim Peterlich, former National Security Advisor to former German Chancellor Helmut Kohl, is joining us from Paris now. Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Ron Malka, to you first. This is only the start. I mean, this is not regime change yet, or by any measure. And without regime change, will the strategic objective objectives of Israel or America, will they be met?
Good afternoon, Arab. Good to see you again and all the audience. See, the ultimate goals of this attack is a regime change. But we are not limiting it to that. Regime change, as you also mentioned, it's not something that happens in a day or a week or 2 weeks. It takes a lot and has to come from within. The people of Iran should do that and should take their own destiny, their own future in their hands, which they try to do, and some of them, thousands of them, were killed, brutally killed by their own government. But what we are trying to achieve is first and foremost to prevent any way of Iran having a nuclear weapon or a mass destruction weapon. Also, long-range missiles in some amount might be mass destruction weapons. So this is the main goal, I would say, of this attack. And of course, if the Iranian people want to change the regime, which we see that this is what is happening, and we saw the demonstration before, they will have the right conditions to do so. But it's for them to decide.
You don't seem so sure, because when I see the crowds in Tehran, when I see the visuals in Isfahan, I want to run the full frame, please. They do tell me a different story. And the broad analysis that is now emerging is that all those who were in the middle have now joined the, what you would call the pro-Khomeini group. The shadow of Khomeini, the influence of Khomeini has grown, they say, after his killing. And that there were talks going on. So this is another side of the story as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but we never know what exactly is happening because still the Basij is there, the revolutionary guards are there, and you don't know if those people that come out, what they really think and what they really want, because they are now under a big threat. Let's see, after the conditions will change, we have another prediction. We think that the vast majority of the Iranian people wants a change in this cruel regime, a regime that destroyed the economy of Iran. Iran has so much, I would say, the only ingredients that need to be a success economy, a success country, even leading in some aspects, but now they are back behind, and this is only due to the strategic plan of their government. They understand that instead of providing for their people, they are supporting terrorist organizations and proxies all around. I think that this is the case. We will not be sure until all the threats will be removed, and this is what is happening now. And we just heard that we get full control of the airspace in Iran. So now we'll see things change, and we can only question that once the threats will be removed.
Will this be a wider global conflict? How is it emerging? Will Trump be in a position to take responsibility for the consequences of this battle? Mr. Pikulich, for the Europe view, please, what do you think?
Yeah, it's strange to see the debate, the Iranian debate.
Louder.
Iran has been, in the last years, the main sponsor of international terrorism.
Louder.
Now suddenly, Russians who have been warning the West, who have been warning the Americans against the Europeans who were to be naive towards Iran. Putin, 20 years ago, in talks with Bush Jr., warned the Americans and invited them to act, and referring to the Europeans who were naive. And I think there is this mixture of the last, let's say, of the years since 79, if you want. Or till today, it's this mixture of a lack of a real critical dialogue with the Iranian leadership, and at the same time, we have been missing the right moments, let's say, to stop the developments of nuclear weapons ballistic missiles in Iran. Strange. Putin has been warning the Americans 20 years ago against the Iran. Today he's speaking about a cynical act, a cynical murder. Yeah. My murder has got what I would have preferred to see him in a trial. But please,